Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever thought about starting your YouTube channel, or you've already started and you're struggling to stay motivated because the views just aren't where you want them to be, then this video is for you. One of the biggest things I've learned is that YouTube isn't something you should start if you're expecting instant success. A lot of people think that if you upload a couple of good videos, you'll start suddenly getting thousands of views, but that's rarely how it works. Most creators spend a long time making videos that don't get much attention before they finally start seeing progress. If you're only motivated by views, subscribers, or even money, it's going to be really difficult to stay consistent. The people who usually make it are the ones who generally do enjoy creating content, even when nobody's looking. Another thing that stood out to me is that YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. There are other platforms where it's much easier to get quick views, such as Instagram and TikTok, but those views don't always turn into a loyal audience. On YouTube, people are choosing to spend several minutes watching your content, and that creates a much stronger connection. It takes longer to grow, but if you keep improving, you're building something that can last for years instead of chasing short-term success. One thing that I think a lot of new creators forget is that every successful YouTuber started exactly where you are right now. Nobody uploads their first video and instantly becomes a huge creator. Every big channel has old videos with barely any views, awkward editing, and thumbnails that aren't very good. The difference is that they kept uploading while constantly improving. Looking back at your old videos and noticing how much better you've actually become is actually a good sign that you're moving in the right direction. It's also important to understand that not every video is going to perform well, and that's completely normal. You might spend weeks planning, recording and editing and think that this is your best video yet, only for it to get fewer views than something you made in just a few hours. Now I know that can be frustrating, but it's part of the process. Sometimes a great video that doesn't reach the right audience, and sometimes an average video takes off. You can't control the algorithm, but you can control the quality of your work and how much you can improve with every upload. Something else that's really important is learning from every video, instead of treating low views as a failure. Every upload gives you new information. Maybe your editing has improved, maybe your pacing is better, maybe your intro keeps people watching, or maybe your thumbnail needs more work. Even if a video doesn't perform well, it still teaches you something that makes your next video stronger. The only real failure is giving up before you even had enough time to improve. Another huge part of YouTube is understanding that making a good video isn't enough on its own. If nobody clicks on it, nobody will ever see all the hard work that you've put into it. That's why titles, thumbnails are so important, because if someone watches your content, they're making a decision in just a few seconds. Ask yourself why someone would choose your video over the hundreds of others on the same topic. If you can make people curious enough to click, you've already given yourself a much better chance of succeeding. I also think it's important to not compare yourself to creators who have been doing YouTube for years. It's easy to look at someone with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and feel like you're falling behind. But you're comparing your beginning to someone else's experience after years of learning. Focus on becoming better than you were last month instead of trying to compete with someone who's been making videos for much longer than you have. Another lesson is consistency. Consistency matters more than perfection. A lot of people spend months trying to make the perfect first video, but in reality your first videos are never going to be your best. The more you upload, the more experience you gain. Your editing becomes faster, your commentary sounds more natural, your ideas improve, and you start understanding what your audience actually enjoys. Progress comes from creating, not waiting until everything feels perfect. It's also worth remembering that success on YouTube isn't always measured by numbers. Of course, everyone wants to see more views and more subscribers, but there are plenty of other ways to see progress. Finishing a video that you're proud of, learning a new editing technique, creating your best thumbnail yet, or getting positive comments from people who actually enjoyed your content are all signs of that you are moving forward. If you only celebrate big milestones, then you'll miss all the smaller ones that keep you motivated. One thing that really changed my perspective is thinking of YouTube as a skill rather than a lottery. Instead of hoping to get lucky, focus on becoming better at storytelling, editing, thumbnails, titles, pacing, and understanding your audience. Every one of those skills can be improved over time, and the better you become at them, the better your chances of growing. Finally, the biggest takeaway is to adopt a not me mindset. Instead of saying you'll never reach a certain number of subscribers or never make money from YouTube, remind yourself that you haven't achieved it yet. Every creator who is successful today was once sitting with hardly any views, wondering if it's even still worth continuing. The difference is that they kept showing up, kept learning from their mistakes, and refused to quit. If you're willing to do the same, you're giving yourself the best chance of reaching your goals, even if it takes longer than you expected.